how I dropped my 3-line global by 30 in 30 days, and how you can too. So here's my story. I was averaging about 105 on September 12th, and then I said, I'm going to do 30 days of mind where I'm going to do the same thing every day, the same 3 steps, which we'll talk about, and got to global 35 by October 12th. Um, and that was the day of my comp, and I did super well, 45, which is I'm happy with. And then the next week, which was just yesterday, I got a 32 in comp, which puts me NR5, and I got NR4 mean in Canada. So that is super nice, and you guys can improve at the same speed just by doing these things. So we'll talk about that. So the main idea is to do something called a mean of 10 best of 3. I want to thank Del Salami on Reddit/Discord for showing me this. First off, it's great to analyze like what your global kind of average is. So basically what you do is you do 10 means of 3, which puts you in like a mindset of a comp, and take the best of 3 and you put them all lined up, and also number of successes, and if you got a mean of 3 you put it down, and then at the bottom it shows the average of all of that, number total of successes, and the mean of 3, the average of the mean of 3, and all the accuracies. So it's a really useful tool, and this is kind of what I did every single day. So the 3 steps you have to do every day is, number 1, do a session of 30 solves under a form of mean of 10 best of 3 and film it. Filming it is the important part. Then what you want to do, you want to analyze your best solves. So what you did or what you didn't do, well, ideally, and what you didn't do well, because it shows you what you've improved and also what you need to work on. So for me, I had a lot of issues with fluency, like in between edges and corners, and I still do. And but I know I have to work on that now. If I just did solve spamming, I wouldn't know what I have to work on. So videoing is a very important part. So, and analyzing it. And then third, you keep track of your analysis. I did it under video form, but you can do it in a doc or a spreadsheet or whatever, and also keep track of your mean of 10 best of 3 by putting it in a Google sheet, like just putting it in a new sheet or putting in the same sheet, whatever. Keep track of your times. It's very important. Now, when it comes to 3 style, I didn't know 3 style when I was at about a minute and 5, so but I was still learning it a bit. Yeah, first thing to do, you have to understand how columns work and learn all you can about commutators and stuff. And then after that, you make a 3 style spreadsheet. There's some very useful tools to help you with this, but what I used was 3 style builder, where you put in your letter scheme, and then you put in the letters, like the letter pair for a com, and it inputs bunch of people's lists, and it finds that exact letter pair for all those people's lists, and so you choose the one that's easiest for you and one that you think would work in terms of finger tricks and stuff. So you put that in your spreadsheet. You don't have to put the full commutator notation. You could just do the setup moves, is what I did. I will put in commutator notation eventually for people who want to learn, but for now it's really for me, so I'll keep it in the setup moves. So you slowly learn these commutators by going through your spreadsheet. So you go A, B, C, or whatever letter scheme you do. You go through the comms, and also don't learn inverses because it's basically the same thing. Just learn when you learn a com, learn that the com and the inverse at the same time, because it's really not that hard. Something else, do a lot of cited solves to learn commutators. I did so many cited solves just to understand the idea and stuff. And then once you have all your commutators, start slowly doing full 3 style solves. They'll probably be very, very slow, but after a while, they'll just like completely pass your M2OP times or turbo OP or whatever method you use. It'll be completely passed. So that's pretty much it for 3 style. There's not many resources honestly about it, so it's really, you have to figure it out by yourself, is what I did. But there's Jack Kai's video, which I recommend. Just his beginner commutators are a bit weird, but forget about that. Let's move on to the next thing. So finally, the other things that could help you is memo rushing, where you force yourself to go really, really fast in memo, even if that makes you DNF like 9 out of 10. It helped me a bit, but it's, some people say not to do it, some people do. I find it helps me because it got my memo down to 10-11 right now, which is close to being world class. And I'd say do it because it can really help you. Eventually, you just won't be making those DNFs anymore. Something else, taking a break. If you find yourself DNFing 10, 11, 12 in a row, just take a break, go get some water, go watch a video or something, or do another event. Um, because it means your brain just isn't working. And like, if your brain isn't working, it's not going to work on the next solve. So even like I know a lot of people want to end on a success, but I sometimes you just have to take a break and just say, okay, I'll come back to this in 5-10 minutes. It helps a lot. Doing untimed solved too helps, where it's like you don't start the timer and you don't do anything. You just kind of memo or don't memo, and just like do your comms and stuff without worrying about time. That helps your accuracy, I find. Something else, doing cited solves. I already talked about this. And experiment. Experiment is a very nice thing where you experiment. Okay, what if I do this Y perm here? What if I do this com and then this com? What if I cycle break here? That you have to experiment with. This is what Jake Clausen gave this tip at a seminar, where it's like three blind is very creative, and you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta figure out what works and do that. So thanks for watching. I hope I can help you like drop your global quite a bit. Honestly, just it's a lot of practice, but it's very doable. You can get good at three blind. I it took me 30 days to drop my global 4105 to like 35. So I'm sure you can do it. Uh you just got to be dedicated and put your mind to it. So see you guys some other time.